Today we will learn how to divide whole numbers by fractions. Please copy down the standard benchmark indicator on a clean page in your math notebook. The student will solve problems that involve the division of fractions that include denominators of 12 or less and express answers in simplest form. Dividing whole numbers by fractions. Dividing by a fraction is the same thing by multiplying by its reciprocal. Reciprocals are numbers whose numerators and denominators have been switched. When two numbers are reciprocals, their product is 1. For example, 2/3 and 3/2 are reciprocals because 2/3 times 3/2 is 1, because 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 2 is 6. You get 6/6, which simplifies to 1. So we're going to use the examples here to learn how to divide by fractions. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. If we do 8 times 1/4, it also equals 2, because 8 times 1 is 8, and it's 1 times 4 for the denominator, so that gets you 8/4, which is 2. Because we flip the fraction, we invert it or make its reciprocal, the divisor, the second number in the problem, that's what allows us to change the division sign to multiplication, because division and multiplication are inverse operations. They will reverse each other. So again, over here on the right, we have 7 divided by 8 gets us 7/8. If we do 7 times 1/8, we get the same thing, because the 7 sitting over that invisible 1. So 7 times 1 is 7 for the numerator, and then 1 times 8 is 8 for the denominator. So 4 and 1/4 are reciprocals, and 8 and 1/8 are reciprocals. So in our example here, dividing a whole number by a fraction. First, we write 4 as an improper fraction, so we get 4/1, which you can see to the right. Then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, or the inverse, of 3/8. That lets us flip the fraction upside down, so we get 8/3, and that's what allows us to change the division sign into multiplication. Then it's the same thing we've been doing the last couple of days. We multiply across the numerators, we get 32. We multiply across with the denominators, we get 3. So we have 32/2 as our answer. And then we simplify. 3 goes into 32 3 times with a remainder of 2. So we get 10 and 2/3. So when you're dividing by fractions, it's always the second number, the divisor, that you flip upside down that allows you to change the division sign to multiplication. Try it. A, divide 21 by 4/3. So the first thing we do is we're going to write 21 as an improper fraction, so 21/1. And then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of 4/3. So if we invert it, flip it upside down, we get 3/4. Now we simply multiply across. 21 times 3 gets us 63. 1 times 4 is 4. Now we need to take that and turn it into a mixed number, so we're going to divide 4 into 63. So 4 goes into 63 15 times completely, and then we have a remainder of 3. So we're going to get 15 and 3/4 as our answer. For B, we have 10 divided by 4/3. So the first thing we're going to do is make 10 an improper fraction by putting it over 1. Then we're going to do the reciprocal of 4/3, which we know is 3/4. And now we're going to multiply across, so we get 30/4. Then we're going to turn this into a mixed number. So 4 is going to divide into 30 7 times completely with a remainder of 2. And then we have to simplify the 2/4, so our final answer is 7 1/2. For C, we have 3 divided by 3/7, so the first thing we're going to do is put 3 over 1 to make it an improper fraction. Now we're going to make the reciprocal of 3/7, which gives us 7/3. Now, if you remember our cross-simplifying trick from the multiplication of fractions, 7 and 1 can't be simplified, but 3 and 3 can both be divided by 3. So that gets us 1 over 1 times 7 over 1, which equals 7 over 1, which gives us 7. For D, we have 6 divided by 2/5. So the first thing we're going to do is put 6 over 1 to make it an improper fraction. Then we're going to make the reciprocal of 2/5, which gives us 5/2. Next, we can do our cross-simplifying trick again with 6 and 2. We can divide them both by 2. So 6 becomes 3, and then 2 becomes 1. Now we just have to multiply across. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. So we get an answer of 15. So 2/5 will go into 6 15 times. For E, we have 8 divided by 6/7. So the first thing we're going to do is make 8 an improper fraction. Then we're going to make the reciprocal of 6/7, which gets us 7/6. And then we can cross-simplify again. 8 and 6 are both divisible by 2. So if we do that, 8 becomes 4 and 6 becomes 3. Now we can multiply across. 4 times 7 is 28, and 1 times 3 is 3. Now we're going to turn that into a mixed number, so 28 divided by 3. So it goes in 9 times, and then we get a remainder of 1. So 9 and 1/3 is our answer. For F, we have 20 divided by 3/5. So first thing we're going to do is make 20 an improper fraction. Next, we're going to make the reciprocal of 3/5, which becomes 5/3. Now we're just going to multiply across. 20 times 5 is 100. 1 times 3 is 3. So now we need to take our improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number by dividing. So it goes in 33 times, and we have a remainder of 1, so it becomes 33 and 1/3. For G, we have 4 divided by 5/6. So first thing we're going to do is make our whole number an improper fraction. Now we're going to do the reciprocal of 5/6, which becomes 6/5. Next, we're going to multiply across. 4 times 6 is 24. 1 times 5 is 5. And now we're going to divide to turn that into a mixed number. So we get a mixed number of 4 4/5. For h, we have 25 divided by 5/8, so the first thing we're going to do is make 25 an improper fraction. Then we're going to write the reciprocal of 5/8, which becomes 8/5. Now we can do the cross simplifying because 5 will divide into 25 and 5 evenly. So the 25 becomes 5 because 25 divided by 5 is 5, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. Now we just multiply across. 5 times 8 is 40, 1 times 1 is 1. So our answer for 25 divided by 5/8 is 40. Please make sure you have all of the work copied down and glue this page in your math notebook.